Hi guys, so I am leaving for the next couple days, actually 4 days, the next 4 days. So it's gonna be 4 days, 3 nights with my ladies from my church. We're going to Alabama, and it's not a conference or anything, but we're just going to be touring a monastery slash nunnery there, just, to see, just to look at it and to visit it. And then the next day we're gonna tour a really old timey house. So it's just kind of like for fun, but there are going to be times where I'm gonna need to change clothes at least twice every day. And so I did need to bring a lot of clothes. I was going to pack them all in my trusty, tried and true backpack that I've shown you a million times. This backpack, if you're not familiar, you can go back into my videos and just look for a picture that has this backpack, and that's where I give you like the tour of the inside. But this is the backpack that has 4 different sections, and I realized, you know what, there's going to be sections that I don't even need to use, so why don't I just go ahead and use my new backpack and give it a test run. So that's what I decided to do. I packed everything that I need in this coat epoxy dupe ripoff from Temu, and it fits everything that I need, and there's a little extra room, but I'm really happy with it. So I'm going to show you how I've packed everything. The travel attire that I will be wearing is, for the most part, I'm going to be wearing these one and done sandals, and really I didn't need to pack any extra shoes because these sandals, it's still so hot down here in the South, and especially in Alabama, it's going to be in the 80s during the day. So I can still get away with wearing sandals. Obviously, I've shown you on my one and done footwear for summer how great these sandals are. They're great if you want to hike. You can wear them in the shower. You can wear them to the beach. You can slip them on like slippers if you don't want to. If you're wearing socks, you don't even have to use that toe catch. You can bypass that. So you can wear them for just about every event. But I did pack 2 other pairs of shoes that I'll show you in a second, just because I may want to change things up. And the other shoes that I'm bringing are so small, they pack down to nothing. So anyways, these are my main shoes that I'll be wearing as I travel. I have a merino wool bra and a pair of merino underwear. And then I have a pair of jeans and a graphic t-shirt. That's what I'm gonna be traveling in. So these articles of clothing, especially the bra, the shirt, and the jeans, can be used again. I am bringing 4 pairs of underwear because I don't feel like washing them out and hanging them to dry since I'm only gonna be gone for 3 nights. So I brought 4 pairs total. But I can mix and match these other separates throughout the trip if I need to. All right, so getting into the top pocket, and I did notice one thing that I really like about this backpack is the fact that each zipper is a different color. So as opposed to my other backpack where all the zippers are the same color, it gets a little bit confusing as to which zipper I'm getting into because they're all the same color, and I have to just sort of trial and error it. But as far as this backpack goes, because it's all different colors, I know that this green zipper is this front pocket, and the blue zipper is the main compartment zipper, and then this kind of greenish yellow one is my laptop section zipper. So anyways, getting into this top pocket, I have packed my combo purse that I've shown you how to make this. So this is that purse that can transition from a shoulder bag to a crossbody bag, or if I need to, I can put a belt through the loops and make it a fanny pack. So that's that purse, and I actually will be bringing it on this trip as my going out during the day purse. But inside of it, I have my headphones. Now, obviously, I'm probably not going to be using these headphones on the trip, but the reason I'm bringing them is because it has my adapter plug for charging various things, and it has different endings for charging different items. If you can see that. Okay, so, and I don't like taking, I know that my headphones and that adapter plug and a few other little things are in here, so I try to keep them all together and not separate them so that I know where they always are. So even though I may not use the headphones, I'm just keeping all of this together for the sake of that. Next is my sunglasses that go over my glasses that I really like, and I recommend getting these in lieu of getting prescription sunglasses, because if you lose them, it's not a big deal. These are on Temu. Actually, let me show you. These are my glasses. These are my prescription glasses, okay? And you can just put the sunglasses over them. So you can still see with your prescription, but they fit over them. And in case you're wearing contacts or something, you can still wear these as sunglasses, but they're only like $1 or $2 on Temu. So I really prefer, I bought like 5 pairs of them, so in case I lose them or they break, I have backup. But these are my sunglasses, and then I am bringing my jewelry tray that I showed you in one of my most recent videos, where I showed you some unique travel items. You snap it like this, and then you can put it on your end table at night, put your ring and bracelets and other jewelry in this tray, and that way it won't fall on the floor. So this keeps all of your jewelry together. Then I do have when I'm traveling within America, I just use my regular charging cube and my regular charging cord for my phone. So I do like to bring that. I have a piece of tape over it, and the reason is because at night when you have it plugged in, there's a blue light that shines, and it's a little distracting when you're trying to sleep. But another reason I like to bring this is because I can use USB charging cords with it as well as USB-C, but for the most part I just use the USB-C port and I cover up the light on it. So that's that. Then I am bringing 3 protein bars because I'm not sure if we're going to be stopping for breakfast, and a lot of times when you're hanging out with ladies, they like to eat croissants and donuts, and that doesn't have a lot of protein. So I may skip that and bring those for my breakfast. I am never without, I should say. I'm never without my personal fan, and especially since it is still in the 80s, you never know when you're gonna get really hot, and I've shown you that many times, so look back in past videos if you've never seen that. This is my little foldable umbrella. It does unfold to full size, and I just always bring it. It's not really, well, I think it's gonna rain one day. So here's kind of a general rule of thought is if you're traveling somewhere hot, bring an umbrella, because it can double as a sunshade. And if you're traveling somewhere cold and especially windy, bring a rain jacket, because it also protects you from the rain, but it also protects you from the cold. So that's kind of the rule of thumb. However, a lot of times in my videos, you'll see that I bring both, and that's just because there may be a difference in the weather, or I just want to be safe. And okay, so that was this top pocket. Now let's get into the main body of this bag. And you know, I showed you a whole tour of this bag in one of my most recent videos. So now I actually have it filled with things for an actual real trip. So we are going to a monastery / nunnery. I'm bringing this shawl just in case I do need to cover my head or my shoulders. They said the only requirements were covering your head and covering your knees and shoulders, which the garments that I've brought are going to do that, but I just want to be safe and I want to be respectful, so I'm bringing that in case. All right, now, I really like the way this bag is designed, and as I've said, it is a ripoff of the coat epoxy, but one thing I like about it, it has this little flat pocket right here, but you can get up under it, and there's space between this top pocket, this front pocket that I just showed you. There's space between that and up under this flat pocket. So you can actually fit a lot more than you think. When you look at it, you think you can only fill it there and there, but no, it goes up under there a little bit. So the top layer of clothing here, this I probably am not going to need. And you are going to see this again in a future video. I just bought this off Temu. It's 100% wool. It's a cardigan that has a hood. So this is kind of, I've showed you my cashmere cardigan that I take whenever I do fancier things. But this one is really just, you know, if the hotel room is freezing, or if we go somewhere that happens to be a little bit cold or it cools off at night or something, I'm probably not going to use it, but it's better to have it and not need it than to not have it at all. And like I said, you will be definitely seeing this again in the very near future. Okay, the next thing that I'm bringing is a reversible sun hat. I don't think I've shown you this in a video yet. It's black on this side, but it does reverse to this sort of tropical pattern. And there are little loops on either side of the hat. It's easier to see on this side. There's loops right there that you can attach this chin strap. So in the event that you go somewhere windy, that you need this as more like a safari hat, you could put this chin strap on either side. There's loops on this side as well. So that's kind of nice. I like it because it's very, very, very wide. There's a lot of coverage to it, but it packs down so small. That's what I really appreciate about it. All right, speaking of why would I need a sun hat, there is a pool at our hotel that we're staying at. So I'm going to just bring this swimsuit. I don't have a cover up, but I do have a lot of like t-shirts. So I'll just throw a t-shirt on if I need to as a cover up. Not a really big deal. We're all women, so who cares? All right, now I do have my pajamas, the easiest thing to get to whenever I first open this. Here are my pajamas, which is a t-shirt and a pair of leggings, and also a pair of fuzzy socks that I wear because my feet get cold, but I won't really be wearing socks out because it is still warm, as I've said. All right, these are two pairs. This is normally, I have brought these pants before in the past, but this is kind of like a reverse capsule wardrobe. Usually you bring really basic bottoms and then wear your patterns on top. But because it's a short trip, I thought this would be kind of fun to bring patterned bottoms. And especially since both of them are so thin, they pack down really small. But this will be for like going to dinner at night. And we're not going anywhere fancy. But I just, you know, I probably don't want to wear jeans every night. So this will give me an option. So there's two of these pairs of pants. These ones are a little crazier. But because the pants are so loud, the tops are going to be real basic. In fact, they're all going to be black. And so I'm bringing this t-shirt for the ride home and or as pajama if I need to. And then two kind of black blouses. This one has sort of button detail on the back of it. So, and it's very thin, and this one is Banana Republic, yeah, and it's got kind of fun sleeves. So these will go with my crazy pants, and those are going to be worn for dinner. I do have a few dresses, so this is an undergarment that I've made. It's a pair of linen sort of bloomers, okay, and I know that sounds super old lady and old school, but I don't like when my thighs touch. And I don't like when you can see my crotch through the dress. So instead of bringing a slip and a pair of shorts, I just made out of like an old pillowcase. I made these bloomers out of a linen pillowcase, and they're so comfortable to wear under a dress. And then here's another merino bra. And then 3 pairs of merino underwear because I don't feel like doing laundry on this trip. All right, so where are my dresses? Well, I did think about this, because dresses are the things that tend to wrinkle the most, and I could have rolled them in the rest of my stuff, but I kind of like that idea that I've been playing with lately of kind of faking a garment bag within the backpack. So this is how I've packed my dresses. I'm only bringing 2 dresses, and I've rolled them up around my toiletry bag this time. So my toiletry bag I've showed you a ton of times, and I haven't quite filled it up yet. I need to, because I have one more night here, so I will fill it in the morning. But this toiletry bag, of course, is amazing because it has a jewelry organizer, and that way I don't ever have to worry about where my jewelry is, and it's all in one thing. I only have to keep up with one thing versus a bunch of separate pouches. And I can, if there's no counter space, and I will have a roommate on this trip, so she might need to use the counter, so I can always just hang this on a hook and I can see everything I need. I don't have to like dig in a bag and wonder where stuff is. It's right there, I can see it. I think more people should like that toiletry bag, but I don't know, I hear some people talk trash on it. All right, so these are my dresses, and I'm gonna go ahead and bring the hangers so that I don't have to worry about taking, in case my roommate needs hangers and the hotel has a limited number. I know I could bring those fold up hangers, but I didn't. I'm just bringing regular hangers because I can. So I have a blue dress, and then I have this sort of pattern dress. I think these are ginkgo leaves, I don't know, maybe, whatever. But they're both sort of this jersey material, so they're not gonna wrinkle real bad. But the way I have them rolled around my toiletry bag is to keep them a little bit flatter. So if you watched my videos before, you'd say, wait a second, I thought that Jessica likes to unfold her toiletry bag and pack that in the laptop section, and you would be right. So what do I have in the laptop section? Well, this time, that's where I've decided to pack my 2 pairs of shoes, which are some Hermes sandals they're like knockoffs that I got in Morocco. So they're not really Hermes, but they are Moroccan leather, handmade. And then another pair of, these are actual flip-flops. These aren't the fold-up kind. And the reason I'm bringing these is because if we go to the pool, I don't know, sometimes these sandals can be a little tricky. I do bring them when I'm traveling internationally with a carry-on. These will be my pool shoes, and they'll be like my everything shoes. But I just like to bring an extra pair of flip-flops for the shower if I can, if they fit. And they do happen to fit in this particular trip. So that's everything that I'm going to be taking for 4 days. And I hope that gave you some ideas. Until next time, happy travels.